Hey everybody, I am your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your Divine Daily Blast. This is where I take the number for the day, where the moon is, where the stars are, and add in some of the Ascended Masters and the Angel Activators to help us along the way. Now, we have a new or different Divine Master, an Angel Activator, a message from our guardian angels, archangels, the angels in general, plus a new deck to work with. This week I'm choosing to work with Angels and Auras Oracle deck by Radley Valentine and Dougal Fraser. But let's start with the number 8 as it appears in our daily angel numerology numbers. Now, a number 8 is about abundance, prosperity. The choices made on an 8 day are favorable. It's a day to remind yourself that whatever prayers you're sending up, they're being answered. It works with the tarot card, the King of Earth, and you can bring in Archangel Ariel, Jophiel, all the things about joy, about success, about expansion, about elevation can be found on a number 8 day. So it would be a good idea to affirm, my heart space is fully open. I am boldly living my life. Some of us may not feel we're boldly living our life, but as long as you're having bold intentions, bold affirmations, bold thoughts, you're vibrating with the energy of being bold, boisterous. I'm aligned with the power of the Creator, and that power is within me now. You do have the power to do anything you want without limits. It's the limits we put on ourselves that get things a bit twisted. Thank you, Universe, for providing more than plenty to nourish my life and help others. Yes, I put that down yesterday as well. I think it is a good idea to say thank you, for which I'm thankful for you, for all tuning in, for liking, subscribing, and the comments. Thank you for whatever I've got on my life. Thank you for the people that remind me that I do have what it takes. I am confident. I can do it. Thank you for the time I get by myself, my dogs, my animals out in nature. I'm grateful for it. That kind of level of gratitude expands and the success flows through it. Message from the Life Purpose Angels. We can help you gain clarity on your purpose and guide you to move confidently and swiftly in the right direction. Your affirmation: I am clear and I am focused on my life purpose. I confidently move forward toward my destiny. Now, sometimes we'll get those days and those points in our lives, particularly when a decade of growth or a decade of expansion or a decade of life stuff is fixing to change and transform, which I think everybody's is right now, no matter where you are on the planet. Sometimes it's good to ask for clarity, to ask for focus, to ask for a definitive plan for your life purpose. And even though many of us would say, well, you're the one that should know what your life purpose is, you don't always. And it's good to say, I would like for my passions, my true passion, my higher being, my higher self, I would like this to be revealed for me, please. And you can then let it go. A bit like a balloon going up to the ethers with your ideas and your vibrations and your things in it, sending it somewhere, and then listen for what's coming back. It could be music, it could be art, you could be inspired to take a class. It doesn't mean that you're going to become a Picasso or you're going to become a Mozart, but it could mean you meet somebody who is the bridge between what you're dealing with and what they're dealing with. We are moving into a phase of our human consciousness where technology is fabulous and it's fine, and it does move us forward, and it does collapse time a little bit, and it does take the chores away from having to do things the old way. However, we are also moving towards a time in our existence where human interaction, human to human connection is becoming once again favored. More so in the way of wanting to support our small, what I like to call it, satellite communities, such as this, spiritual circles, painting groups, groups that do, like my partner at the salon that does massage, she's a member of many different groups. They play cards. They've got a newcomers group where they welcome people from different places to Charlotte. She networks all over the place with all these different groups. That's what I'm talking about. Personal interaction. Getting together with people. You might not like all the people you get together with. Some of them might be a little bit confusing for you. But we're moving out of the need to be alone, the need to be in solitude so much, and into seeking like-minded communities from which we can thrive. Archangel Raphael is our angel activator this week, and Archangel Raphael is inviting us to trust the inner vision. Now, when Archangel Raphael shows up, he's typically the healer of God, but healing is overcoming and moving past limitations. And this is why Raphael shows up this week. It is healing the inner voice. It's clearing away the stuff that's stuck in the way of it. And we also have Vajra Yogini, who is encouraging us this week to transcend our fears. She's basically saying facing fears leads to fearlessness and embracing our inner power. I could explain a little bit more about the deity. She's kind of a deity. Vajra Yogini is not necessarily an angel. She's certainly connected with the feminine Buddhahood, because Vajra is the Sanskrit word for like thunder, thunderbolt, thunder clapping. And then the word yogini comes from a female who's achieved a state of yoga. That's the mind, the body, and the soul coming together. So Vajra Yogini is known as a Dakini, which is the Sanskrit word for like a sky dancer, powerful supernatural being that is fearless. So you would never really know what it's like to be fearless if you hadn't encountered some level of fear. This is a time right now in everybody's life, in social, political, all over the place, where you're able to look at fear in the eye and really see it for what it is, bring the truth about. Because fear is like energy, it's like clouds, it's like a weather pattern. It moves through, but does have to be faced. Because if it's not faced, it's not overcome. If it's not overcome, there's no growth. So Vajra Yogini is here to encourage us to move through all of that. Now, the moon today has moved into the sign of Virgo, but we've got the sun sitting into Cancer. And sometimes, when the moon moves into Virgo, the sun being in Cancer, which is kind of a sensitive sign anyway, but astrologically, today could be one of those days where you could be slapped with the truth, or you could be telling yourself the truth, or your truth could be revealed to you. As the moon is moving through this sign of Virgo, the more honest you're able to be with yourself, the more honest you're able to be with what's going on, the brighter and the happier you'll be in the long run. So if you're finding yourself once again wanting to attract something that you'd like to do, people you'd like to be around, but you're finding yourself almost sabotaging that, saying, oh no, I can't do that, that sounds ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. All of those things that we do say that gets us out of moving forward. That's where the truth is. It's telling yourself the truth. Don't worry about it. It's all going to be okay. Just stick with it. Stick with what your truth, what it's telling you, what you must do, how you must go forward, rather than being trapped in fear. All right. Gertrude, Beatrice, where are you today? They're out in the sunshine, back on their picnic table. Oh, it's a table now. We've got a little fold-up table. This one is sitting on top of some sticks that have been brought from the woodland. Now, what I see in my third eye center are towards the left are like woods. And this would be like a field, a meadow with that long wild grass growing. And they've created this small little opening where they're pitching like 4 or 5, almost like tent pegs. And on the top, they've got their picnic table, so they're just sort of like setting the things down on the table, and what they're saying is gather, get and gather, get and gather, all get and gather. Okay, whatever that means. All right, so let's have a message from the angels, and I think the ancestors through the auras. What color, what number, what? Oh, there's our card right there. Oh, look, hello. Oh, hello. Archangel Raphael again says hello, welcome. I love this robe. I like what he's wearing, almost like a sash. And of course, you know, the caduceus in his hand, on the end of a stick, wielding power. But if you notice, there's a harp, all about peace. You know, harp music always brings a sense of peace. And there's a staircase leading up to what looks like, if I look back over there, it looks like the altar of a church. You see the stained glass window, and Archangel Raphael has got a big smile on his face. He's wearing what I would consider like mayoral, what do they call those things? I forgot what they call them around their neck. The mayors in England always have them. It's like a chain thing, very regal. And the message is love, travel, humor, vitality. So, what I like about this message and this whole message, that if you are facing some fears, you know, I look at fear like this. If there's a group of folks that are populating a sense of fear by what they're reporting, what they're telling, you know those people. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Oh my goodness. Their tongues are wagging, right? It's kind of gossip. I like, in my head, not out of my mouth. Sometimes out of my mouth it comes, but in my naughty head, I'm like, oh, here we go again. We're going to hear a story now. And off it goes, right? That can impart some fear into people. If we've ever said to someone, especially if you are dipping into being more and more psychically active, which there are a lot of people waking up to it. A lot of people are saying there's something in this. There's something to be said for this. Sometimes it comes through children. Sometimes it comes in the way that children are now interacting. I would say how people are waking up, or at least enlightening to it, is through hearing it too many times and realizing that's not the truth. Then it forces us to go in and find the truth. When we get told these stories, and those stories just become like a soap opera, enough already with that. We move into where that truth is. And that truth can do two things for all of us. It's a biological internal response. You hear that term all the time, gut feeling. Your gut feeling does two things, and mine does. I don't know about yours, but I think it's pretty common. Most people have this, I think they call it psychosomatic. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to put these words out there if I don't know what I'm talking about. Where a sinking feeling is literally that. Goes right down into the lower intestines and almost feels like you've got to, I got to go to the bathroom. Or it's a light feeling that lifts up and it feels relieving. It feels like, a relief, and it sits in the chest wall, if that makes sense. This is your internal guidance system, your intuition, your understanding. So if you are faced with a fear, And a fear is something that we're not really sure about and we don't know the outcome of it. I look at fear in a different way. I look at fear and sort of walk towards it. All right, so I'll give you a straight up example. You live in an area of the world that is prone to wild weather patterns. Those wild weather patterns have been known to create great destruction and cause havoc and mayhem. So we've seen it. Other people have experienced it. They've told the stories about what it felt like. And there's all of the news reports about blah, 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 death and devastation. That does create this idea in your head that this could happen to me. I could end up like this, whatever. To move that, to face that, would be to say, what do I need to do to prepare myself? 1. And you make a little list. Get your batteries. Be okay without any power. You're all going to survive. And 2, how do I feel about this? Do I feel like I'm going to be obliterated? Am I worried about being whatever, devastated? Whatever that is, whatever that fear is, when we're in, like, especially in the sign of Virgo, we have to tell ourselves that truth. So this is the kind of thing where you transcend fear by looking at the truth of it. Is this really something I need to be frightened of? Is this something I need to be concerned about? Because we can get overly concerned and create these stories, and these stories end up becoming something we then have to deal with. All right, I think I'm done with my waffling for today. I'll be back later on to give you navigations of the week ahead, which is where I use the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot deck, along with days of the week and the numbers, and where the moon is. All right, my friends, stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.